You're in a room full of people. Imagine this, everybody. And someone walks in who's just totally comfortable with who they are. They don't have to showboat. They're not loud. They're just who they are. There's an energy and an aura that is so felt around the person. Where does that come from? It comes from a deep level of confidence that allows the person to live in the state of, I'm in harmony with who I am, and I'm expressing this out into the world. And it's felt. It's beautiful.
Hello, beauty. Yes, you. Join me, host Joyce Platon, as I chat with today's beauty, wellness, and lifestyle visionaries. Let's discover their motivating journey together as I merge my love for the art and my passion in revealing one's true inner beauty.
Hey there, Joyce Platon here, and welcome to Hello Beauty. Today's special guest is Roxanne Saffaie. She's an entrepreneur, writer, athlete, empowerment coach, and host of BlackBeltBeauty Radio and a beauty expert. She helps women achieve their highest goals in life from within and out. Welcome to Hello Beauty, Roxy.
Hi, how are you? And I'm so excited to be here with you.
It's my pleasure, and I am just really excited and looking forward to sharing with my listeners and viewers your amazing personality, and I'm just so honored to have connected with you.
Thank you, girl. It's completely mutual, truly.
Yeah. So when we had our initial call, I actually learned that you have a background as a celebrity makeup artist.
Yes.
And not just any, pro makeup artist, but legit celebrity makeup artist. So
Yeah.
What led you to Black Belt Beauty?
Oh man, what a question. Okay, well, so I would say this, that the easy way to frame this for you is that makeup was always an expression, a medium of creativity that I loved. And, from a very, very young age, I've always been really, I draw, I paint. I mean, my story, my mom will tell everybody, she tells all her, a lot of her friends and whatnot. Growing up, she was always having to chase me around the walls because I was always coloring and painting on the walls. And so when I discovered makeup, and my mom's a hairstylist, so beauty's been in my, my entire upbringing. It was just a way to creatively express, with this medium. What led me to Black Belt Beauty? So I would say this: makeup is a talent that I naturally have and a form of creativity that I love. Whereas Black Belt Beauty is the highest expression of who I am. So for your listeners and your viewers, Black Belt Beauty is a holistic high performance brand. So I think one of the taglines is 360 degrees of beauty, turning your best into better. A fun kind of connective thought is, a lot of people think, because I'm a martial artist and I train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, wow.
And I'm also a beauty expert, makeup pro, that, that's the Black Belt Beauty piece. And no, I'm not a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. I am a black belt in beauty, but that's actually not where the name is formed from. So the meaning behind Black Belt Beauty, so when you think black belt, you're thinking the highest standard, the highest expression, right? And for me, from my opinion, when you are living from the highest expression of yourself, you are living a beautiful life. So this is Black Belt Beauty. So it's this full, encompassed lifestyle where you are mindful, where you are, there's integrative health. Beauty is integrative as well. Self-development is a constant thing that you are investing in, so that you are always, elevating your mind, and you're learning and you're growing. So it's the whole picture. And I really do believe, and that's why there's the holistic high performance piece. I am a holistic high performer, because I don't believe that it's possible to really live a fulfilled life if you are not making adequate deposits in all of these areas. So mindset, health, and all of that translates back into your business, your relationships, your money. It's all connected. So that's kind of that's the genesis behind Black Belt Beauty. And I'll add to this piece by just saying, when I first started thinking of the idea behind Black Belt Beauty, I was deep in my makeup career. And I didn't have the full picture of what it was. I didn't have the podcast yet. I just knew that I had so much more to share and to contribute and to express in this life. And being a very deep thinker and a very high level observer, I was just really paying attention to a lot of the feedback that I was getting, not only from people on the outside, but from myself. And in this way of, there was always this, a few of the fun comments were, I wish I had an app, a Roxy app for, my food or my fitness, or, when I would give advice and, support mindset, anything related to business, relationships, self, how to troubleshoot, how to pivot emotionally, which is a constant theme that I've been doing in my life, to my loved ones, to people that I just meet and, have the opportunity to connect with on that level. And, I would hear things like, I'm writing this down, or I wish you could say this for me, or when you said that, it made me did. So this is all feedback. And, I just started adding it up, and I'm like, shit, you have impact, and the really important piece here is that I enjoyed this. This was natural for me. It wasn't like I was trying to be this or trying to,
Yeah.
it would just, so it got to this place where, I just thought, well, let me start with the blog, let me just throw, and, initially I thought it would be something like Refinery 29 almost, I wasn't necessarily thinking exactly in that model, but, where it would just be this source where you can go and you get beauty and you get all the pieces. But I never put pressure on it had to be this. I just stayed open. I had like some general ideas, and I would try this, and I like this, I don't like that. And I would say that when the podcast was born, that's when everything changed. That's when shit got real. Cause I was like, and you and I talked about that, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh my, and I sat on that idea for 2 years before I actually executed it. And it wasn't procrastination. It was really just getting very clear on how I wanted to do it, why I wanted to do it. And then, setting myself up to actually be able to commit to it. Because when I started the podcast, again, I was still, doing the makeup, more, certainly more than now. Now it's makeup
Mhm.
is very high select if I want to do the job for certain
Same.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's a long story that I try to just give you a little, kind of cliffs
Mhm.
notes too. But that's
Yeah.
essentially where it all started for me.
Yeah, I mean, you seem like you naturally have this gift of giving and even giving advice. Where did that come from? I mean, or were you just always like
Yeah.
open to new experiences and you learn from them? Was there a specific moment in your life that probably like that hit you pretty hard and that's like where you are drawing from?
It's a great question. And, it's funny because I think about it constantly, and I've pretty much kind of settled on this. The truth is that a lot of what I believe, like where the gifts about mindset and the strength and all that comes from, I think it's one part truly that I came downloaded with this, because it wasn't, I can't say that it was that pivotal moment that all of a sudden it just shifted for me. No, I can't say that, because to be honest with you, my entire life I have had this very, very deep connection to myself. That deep connection, self-awareness. The thing is that, like, I've fortified it, and I continue to do the work to fortify this self-awareness and this self-connection. And then, it has allowed me to really, I don't know, just operate with these levels of wisdom that I think oftentimes when people get pieces like this, it's because something really tragic or some big moment happens,
Mhm.
right? But that wasn't the case for me. What I can add to that, though, is this. One of the greatest tools that has supported my ability to be able to authentically guide and to have these tools and these, kind of strategies, is that it's adversity. Like, I've faced challenges from the youngest years of my life, some of which were not at my, I didn't ask for them. It was like environmental and, family, divorce and
Mhm.
things like that. Um, and then, as years would go by and being a growth mindset individual, a path creator, meaning I'm living my own unique life. I'm not following anybody's instructions, directions. I follow my passion, my purpose, my vision leads you to be an entrepreneur. Now we're talking like, now I'm going towards the challenges. Now I'm what I call seek the fight, right? So this combination of one part being downloaded with this natural, really profound level of self-awareness and self-connection, and then you add the adversities that were just a constant theme in my life. And I want to be clear, it's not like I've been struggling all my life. There's a difference between challenge and struggle, and we can talk about that later if you would like to.
Mhm.
But there has been a through line of challenge, right? And still is, and I embrace it. So all of that has really led me to be who I am today, and to be able to support that the way I am. And when I think about this, and I have thought about this very deeply, Joyce, is that I believe the reason why I came downloaded this way is because I'm genuinely here to lead in this arena. Like, this is a
Mhm.
gift. It's a gift
Yeah.
because I didn't read the book and go to the workshop and then I got the epiphany. It wasn't one pivotal moment. It was like, no, the table was set for you, and you
Yeah.
chose to sit down at it every day, and you continue to sit down at it and invest and do but like this natural, a lot of people, that's not a natural thing, to just
Mhm.
have this. And I say it with so much gratitude, and it feels like, I don't want to, the word responsibility might seem like, oh, there's effort that doesn't feel good,
Totally get it. Yeah.
but it's actually, the better word would be this. Knowing that this is a real gift, it has me so inspired every day to keep getting better, to get stronger, to
Mhm.
learn more, so that I can be a better contributor with this gift to the world.
Yeah. It's like you know what to do with it, you recognize it, and you're like, it deserves to be shared.
Yes, at the
Yeah.
highest level.
Mhm. It's like
Yeah.
almost like if you keep it in, it's like it makes you uneasy, right?
Yeah, well, you know what it is? I don't, to be honest, I don't know that because
Mhm.
I've only ever responded like when I feel, I
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
and here's the thing. If I would have just stayed in makeup, if I would have suppressed it, then I would be able to answer that question and say, yeah,
Mhm.
then I feel the unease. But but because I don't do that, because of this deep level of self-connection and intuitive, I'm willing to bet on myself. I'm willing to just go. And I'm
Yeah.
not afraid. Actually, let me reframe that. Sometimes I am afraid. I'm
Of
afraid of
course.
like, oh shit, the mistake or the burn or the what if you're wrong, or
Uh-huh.
but I still go because I've
Yeah.
learned that that is how you really attain wisdom and experience
Mhm.
and knowledge that you are genuinely able to share. There's a
Yeah.
reason why people, I believe, I know my community resonates with me because they know my shit is real. Like
Yeah.
it's coming from the source of me.
Yeah. I definitely agree because I have this typical saying to myself like if you really want to be great or go to the next level, be prepared to burn. Just like it's going to hurt like one way or the other. There's no easy path.
Yeah.
You're going to have
Yeah.
probably like maybe sleepless nights, you're going to make mistakes, meet the
Yes.
wrong people, but the good thing is that at least now right?
A
And you
hundred
can
percent.
definitely move forward.
You know it because you've lived it, and I'm sure it's
Yeah.
still a part of your process, and you've survived it, and you've become better for it. You've expanded your life in desirable ways as a result of it. And it's interesting because I know this is where people want a shortcut. They want the magic pill. They don't want to do
Mhm.
that. And this
Mhm.
is why this is a big part of what I share in my brand, through the podcast, the coaching aspect of things. It's like, I really invite people to reframe what challenge actually means, what hard means. I literally say, for me, hard is opportunity. It's like cha-ching.
Mm.
Oh, you hard? Oh, I'm getting
Yeah.
excited right now. And that can be translated in a lot
I
of
love
ways.
that. Yes,
It's
yes.
like, but it's like, because it's all a game of mind, man.
Uh-huh.
It's a game of mind. Life is a game of mind. And you can learn to, like, in my business, right? Right now there's products being developed, things are launching this fall and this holiday. It's demanding the best of my best of my best, which I love. Well, guess what?
Mhm.
That process is hard. It's
Yeah.
really fucking hard. But my mind is like, I'm so aware that this is me growing. This is where the, like the stretch marks. I know that that's not ideally what a
Yeah.
woman wants, but they're like tiger stripes, but this is where the magic is happening. So while it may be hard, for sure, I'm not saying it's going to make it easy just because you think of it that way, but you can appreciate it more. You can embrace it more rather than making it like it's the enemy. No, it's the stepping stone. It's a stepping stone. It may be hard to just get up on the stepping stone because it's kind of tall and it's a little but when you get up on that, you have a higher perspective. You've elevated your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love these little tidbits. So you mentioned having tools like in
Yeah.
life in general to get you through stuff. So
Yeah.
more than ever, we have been talking about self-care because of what we are experiencing right now with the global pandemic.
Yep.
So would you have any, probably a list of self-care tools or activities that can help you flourish under even the worst circumstances?
Sure. So, I mean, listen, it's a wide range of things, right? You
Mhm.
think the brand, you're thinking mindset, you're thinking nutrition.
Yeah.
And here's what I know. I have a saying, inches make the mile. It's all about
Mhm.
your habits, and your habits are going to stem from what you expect of yourself, right? I expect great things of myself. I have great, like, high standards for myself. It's one thing to have these thoughts, and it's another thing to put them into action. And I think a lot of times people, think you have to like be tuning yourself all day and doing all this work all the time, or it's like, so I invite small steps into the picture to build the big picture, to build the habits. One of the first things that I will say that I will offer is, how are you starting your day? What is your morning like? Can you carve out 10 minutes? I'm not even asking you for an hour to 2 hours. I'm literally saying, can you give yourself 10 minutes to check in? I love meditation. Just starting small, again, like these are baby steps, right?
And you
Some
have to
people,
do this in the morning, the moment you wake up. Can't be later at night kind of thing. Okay.
well,
No.
I just literally dropped an episode yesterday on my day. So I go yin, I go yang, I go yin, right?
Mhm.
So the yang is the fire. It's when I'm like
Yeah.
high performance go time. And I have these kind of book and yin segments to really recover so that I can continue this high performance. Why
That's
the
true.
morning is so important, Joyce, is because you wake up from sleep, you haven't made any decisions yet, you literally have reset. Hopefully you got good sleep, but that's a whole nother part of a conversation. But we're going to start in the morning. But let's just say, you wake up, nothing has been asked of you yet. You haven't done anything. Everybody's life is going to look different. There might be kids, partner, you're living with people. I get that. That's why I'm keeping this so simple. Can you give yourself 10 minutes at the start of the day just to get into your mind and your body? So I have a free 10-minute morning ritual just to make this so easy for people who don't already do something like this, where it's like a 5-minute guided meditation and then an actionable PDF steps where it's like, okay, there's a mantra, a couple mantras, there's some journal prompts.
You have that on your website?
I
These,
do.
okay, yeah, definitely.
I'll have
link
it in the
that.
show notes. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is because first of all, I have a very, very incredible morning ritual myself, and it is certainly more than 10 minutes. But I also wake up between 4 and 5:30 every morning because I go to
And
sleep
what time
early.
do you sleep?
Between 9 and 10.
Okay,
Between 9 to 10. Yeah, so early. And it feels really good for me. I love waking up before the world or before my neighborhood, there's not a pressure of like, oh, I gotta hurry. You see, this is me allowing myself the space to get into myself and not be reactionary through the rest of the day. That's the key piece here. You want to get ahead of it. You want to tune in. Where are you at? You want to set your intentions. You want to feel your breath. You want to get into your body. This is really important because more people are living in, especially now, the sympathetic nervous system. This is fight or flight, right?
Yeah.
And so how do you set yourself up to not be running out the gate, meaning starting out your day in sympathetic mode?
Yeah. It's like we only function on two things, right? Thrive or defend. Like the
That's
human
a great way to
system.
put it. Yeah. And you want to be thriving. And when you think of it like this, listen, I'm not saying because you have an epic morning ritual that everything is just going to go great for you in the day. No, it's not. But your ability to handle the not great is much better because you are dialed into you. You are more resilient. You have created space between a reaction, like a stimulus, and your reaction to where you can process your emotions. You could be more emotionally agile. You could be more emotionally disciplined. You can make better choices with your diet. You can have, more thoughtful conversations. You can be more intentional with your actions. This is why this morning setup is so huge. And listen, this is not original. A lot of people talk about this. A lot of high performers, a lot of successful people. Why? Because it works. But the hardest part, Joyce, is the consistency. And that's why, again, I'm such a huge advocate for start small, build the habit, because what happens is when you build the habit and you start feeling and witnessing the benefits of this, it becomes the habit. Then if you can't break the habit. It's too good. It feels too good. It's too much a part of you. And, obviously people can add and curate their own from this, kind of base level 10-minute zone. Maybe 5 minutes of meditation turns into 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Maybe, 2 to 3 minutes of journaling turns into, 15 minutes of journaling. But I just, to put a bow on this is just one really powerful tool that has a huge ripple effect, right? Because we want to be active with these strategies, these tools that are going to give you the largest ripple effect to wellness, to your performance. So, and that's certainly one of it. Just having a really solid, just even if at the very minimum, 10 minutes. And for people who are like, oh, I don't have 10 minutes. It's like, well, then this is a whole nother conversation, because if you don't have 10 minutes for your life, just for you, what are we doing? Then you really need the 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly. So just 10 minutes of being quiet, because, not a lot probably are kind of well-versed in the meditating world as well. Just having time for yourself, being quiet, and not necessarily having to do anything, do chores or have to accomplish things.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's for, the reason why in this 10-minute ritual, there's a guided meditation. It's essentially like, I want you to feel your breath. I want you to just feel your body. I want you to think without judgment. This is where self-awareness can really start to settle in, right? And remind yourself that you're safe. Remind yourself that you're here. Start thinking about, how you want to feel as you move through your day. So I'll tell you this. In my morning meditation, I have a whole conversation with my future self. My muse. She is my North Star.
Oh, could you give us an example? Like even like a short spiel?
I mean, it's always so different, but
of course,
she's, she's been alive in my.
Is it sort of like, hey, Roxy, like kind of like,
no,
give me like.
So you're so cute. No, well, so and it's so fun because I never would have imagined that she would be on podcasts, but she's so well known now, even in my girls that I coach and whatnot. But she's actually called the Woman in the Mirror, and so my muse is the Woman in the Mirror, and the reason for that is not because I just came up with this title. It's because she just happened to show up in this future home. It's like my Pinterest home that is coming next in this in the master bathroom of this home. And so it's me and her. And so sometimes how she shows up first is I'm way over here in my thoughts, right? Like I woke up and I'm thinking about this story and that thing. And she'll be like, where are you right now? And she brings me in. Catch a ride on your breath. Just breathe. And she'll guide me into my meditation. And it's very deep in it. I swear it could be its own podcast episode that I would be happy to have with you one day. But it's, sometimes there's, like I'll ask her questions. And what's so cool is that she asks me questions back rather than, so it's not like, oh, I have this fortune teller who's just telling me how my life is going to go. But she'll ask me questions so I can peel back layers and cultivate the answer myself because it's already
Mm.
within me. Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like deep, man. Some of the deepest things that like profound thoughts have come out of me from my conversations with her. The other
Yeah.
day, I'll just share one thing with you, and this is going in my book, so you're getting like first dibs on this. Like,
Oh my God, we're so lucky here.
she she said to me, I'm like troubleshooting. I'm trying to think of like positioning one thing. What do I do? Do I put this next? And she's like, tell me how you win. And every time I would go to answer this question, I would start tripping on the how, and I would think about the numbers, and I'm trying to like formulate it and
Mhm.
strategize. And she said to me, logic needs proof, creativity creates it.
Mm.
Girl. And
Wow.
that's just one. This is
How
you.
does how do you even, like, I know this could, like what you said, it could be another different podcast episode, but like how do you bring or create, not even create,
Yeah,
because I know
yeah,
every person has that, vision in them or that other in them that they
yeah.
don't know exists and they can definitely unlock.
Yeah. So I'll tell you how she came about, and that's going to give you the
Mhm.
very clear answer. So I've
Yeah.
been writing my entire life, specifically journaling, right?
Mhm.
And my journal has always been my best friend, my ride or die, never judging, always there for me. My favorite room is what I call it. And, I am very much into, like, I'm a strategist and I love reverse engineering, right? It works in a lot of ways in life, right? So years ago when I start thinking about the big picture of where I want to take Black Belt Beauty and ultimately my life. So like, what's my home? I love visualization. What's the home
Mhm.
look like? What's the podcast studio look like? Who's my
Mhm.
team? How do I feel when I wake up in the morning? Like, what's my protocol and all of these things I started to write, I started to think about in meditation. So the collaboration between journaling and actually writing them out and visualizing and going through them in meditation, what happened was I knew that it wasn't about the home and the studio and the things. It was about, who is that Roxanne? Who is she? How is she waking up feeling? What are the conversations she's having? What are the things that she enjoys to do? How does she handle challenge? I started to create this version of myself,
Mhm.
and the more that I would invest into the details of this creation by way of journaling, by way of meditation, and just visualizing, the more I became so clear and connected on this version of myself. And I wish I could pinpoint, it was years ago when she actually showed up in that house, but there she was, and her outfits have changed. It's really funny. Her hair changes,
Yeah.
and it all makes sense, like with it, like when I zoom out, I'm like, I know she's wearing white because it's this moment where I really just need to surrender and be like free of this trying to control the whatever I'm trying to go, you know. And so and so that's essentially how she was born. And that's, I would say to your listeners and viewers, for those who really want to cultivate this future self and a relationship with their future self, which I highly recommend, because again, the life that you want starts with the person that is living that life. So who's
Mhm.
the person? It's not the home that makes you you. You bring that home into your life. Journaling. Journaling is the MVP in my life. It is truly when I say I came out and the table was set and it was a gift. Well, the greatest tool, when you think of the challenges that I had to live through and that I brought onto myself to get better in my life, what would help me to move through that challenge? My journal. It's time with
Mhm.
myself. It's time to process, streamline a consciousness, just process perspective. It's not, there's no expectations. In my 20s, I was probably more judgmental on myself. And in my 40s,
Yeah.
it's a whole nother
Which
game. And
probably like leads to
30s,
my next question, but yeah, continue
yeah.
please. Yeah.
Yeah. No, well, just to put, an
Mhm.
end piece there, I would say that start journaling. It is so, so, so supportive to getting a deeper sense of self-awareness a deeper sense of self-connection. And these two foundational pieces are really what bridge an individual to develop more self-love, and in that is self-compassion, self-respect. Those lend to self-confidence, because now you're actually knowing who you are, and you're going to position yourself in your life to live your authentic life, high and hard, all of it. You're going to face the challenges, you're going to do the work, and all of that helps you to create more confidence in yourself. And when all of those pieces get put together, you've now created a deep level of self-trust. And that to me is the ultimate empowerment tool. So it goes back to journaling. Who is this person you want to bloom into? Get very, very specific and clear. What kind of clothes are in your closet? What kind of makeup do you use? All the pieces. Yeah. And then start to visualize in your mind. And then, if you're consistent, I can't say that all of a sudden you're going to have a person in the mirror like that. You're going to have your own process. But that's how I cultivated this relationship. That is absolutely the most important relationship, honestly, in my life.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's really amazing. I definitely need to try that, because in our conversation before, I was telling you how I was having a difficult time journaling, because I would read online or whatnot on tips on how to journal. I was like, but I feel like this doesn't apply to me. But I feel like this is you definitely gave like clear sets of steps on how to start, even for like the novice, even someone who doesn't even really write on like a regular basis. And you did mention that there could be some, low self-confidence, judging. And I know that's very normal. And I think that's also, which I could admit that maybe that's what scares me to journal, is like to expose my thoughts even to myself, right? So how do you eliminate excess negative emotions, like from the outside or even from within yourself? Because especially not even just within yourself, we're battling, and we are definitely absorbing so many negative energy, negative emotions from people around us, what's going on. And it's, a lot of things that we cannot control as well. So what is a good approach to that?
It's a great question, Joyce. And I would say first thing is, you're not going to eliminate it. You're going to transform it. Energy is energy. Beautiful. It doesn't go away. You shift it. You can't shift what you don't face. You can't, right? It'll just haunt you. Put it away under the bed. It's still under the bed, right? So, we've talked a little bit, like I have a journal that's coming out this holiday, and it's the first of a series of journals, but this one's called You're the Path. And it's
definitely getting that.
Oh, you're going to love it. I'm going to send it to you. It's my gift to you. There's
thank you.
7 sections, and there's some prompts and some questions, but it's not a workbook, because I'm not trying to I don't want that for you. I want you to like own this space for you. But it's what you said about people being afraid and judging and not even know, it's like overwhelming. That's a very common thing. I've talked to so many people who feel this way about journaling. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to create this beautiful space, the illustrations that help to really enliven your creativity, and give you these guys. Take them if you want. Like, you can completely ignore the prompts or the questions, whatever, but they're going to help you if you choose to use them and lean into them. They're going to help you transform this energy. Listen, I literally wrote in my journal this morning, straight up, like I have these, how did I put it? Like, small thoughts, and they're like, in my mind, like, because I'm such a visual person, like it's almost like tiny daggers, and they're and they're trying to assault my inner harmony. Harmony is everything for me, right? But I'm almost like storytelling when I wrote it this way. I'm like, but poor them, they don't stand a chance, because that dagger becomes my arrow to like hit my targets, to push, to like move through the challenge, right? So it's like this transform, because I know it sounds deep, and I hope that I'm delivering this in a very succinct way that will resonate and be applicable to your listeners and to your viewers. But my point is like, you're not going to avoid the negativity or the fears. You're just going to get better when you face them at transforming them, at pivoting them.
Makes sense. Yeah.
It's, the journal is going to help you get closer to yourself. What are your values? What do you love about yourself? What are your challenges? What do you want to shift about yourself? Like, how do you want to take this thought and transform it into this thought? This is your space to do this, right? And then all of this gets transferred out into action into the world too, right? So did that answer your question? I hope it did.
Yes, you did. You
Yeah?
did.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's very clear. I totally get. No, I totally agree. It's like, it's one of those things, the more you face things, it's like, learning how to swim. At first, you just like dip your toe, do it little by little.
Right?
And then probably the next day, maybe like up to your shin. So just like facing it little by little and just kind of getting used to it. And you get stronger and you get more brave and facing, hopefully you're dipping your entire body in the pool in that water. It's the same concept.
It really is. And, I think one of the greatest takeaways from it too is you get really tuned in and comfortable and you fall in love with your most authentic self. This is really important, Joyce, because I feel like a lot of people, we know there was a whole study done, this woman, I can't remember her name, but she visited a bunch of elderly people who were on their deathbed, right? And asked, like, what's your biggest regret, right? Yeah. And the regret was, I didn't live my life. Like, I lived around other people's ideas of what. When you become, and this is hard because there's a lot of things that people don't want to face about themselves or aren't sure about themselves and aren't going to embrace. And that's why this is a process. I don't have a magic pill for you. I certainly didn't take a magic pill, but the work that needs to be done here is beautiful because it's you. It's you're investing in you, And so when you start to become more clear on who you are and what you stand for and your values and your principles and what you appreciate about yourself and your gifts and, all of these things, it just makes it easier, in my opinion, to express yourself authentically, which is not an easy thing to do, right? Because there's so much outside that wants you to not be authentic. It could be your partner, your parents, your society, your boss, your whatever. But when you are living your authentic self and you are creating your life from that authentic self, in my opinion, nothing is more badass and empowering and inspiring for others to witness. You know what I mean?
And
it's
they
like
feel
you give
your
permission.
Energy.
They do. They're like, shit, well, if she's just being a real ass self, like I want to do that too, So it's a beautiful, there's like a contributing factor to you being your authentic self and showing up as your authentic self. But in order to do that, you got to know who you are. You got to be willing to face who you are and work through the kinks. And I can look back at my 20s. I injured my knee. I've had 3 knee surgeries when I was between like 16 and 17 years old, and it was a gnarly. It was a very low point for me because up until that point, I was an athlete for the better part of my life. I was a competitive runner in my earlier years, and then I started surfing and everything changed, but I was always active, and body type was like, 8-pack. And like, I just, my family, if you look at my genes, are all athletes. And then all of a sudden I'm stuck in bed for pretty much 2 years of my life because it was in and out of surgery, getting mobility back on my knee. I'm on the American diet, which is all like, just not good. It's not food, it's calories.
Yeah.
It's lab work. We had some home cooked meals. I won't diss my mom in that way, but my mom was a hardworking mom.
Of course.
And, and I, so I gain all this weight and I don't know. And fortunately my body, type, I'm a mesomorph, and if I gain all over, but I was still not in my true form. And it would, essentially, like, this is what put me on the path to to discover my genuine passion in integrative health and biology, nutrigenomics, how food affects us, longevity, and all of that. But the process of learning and ultimately getting myself back into homeostasis was gnarly. And there was so much pain, you're looking in the mirror and you're like, I know this isn't who I am, and
you feel like you're living in a shell,
you're in a lower version of yourself. And I'm not being mean, I'm being real. Like, it was just not my, and I'm like trying, and I try and do the shortcuts, and I think I'm doing the right things, and lots of troubleshooting, which again has given me so much knowledge. And when you look in my journal in those years, it's really interesting. It's just like, man, it was hard. I had to go through shit. And there was always, I have over 20 years of writing in my house, right?
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it's gnarly. And there were years before that, but they got lost in a suitcase that got stolen. So, you know, every now and then I'll open, some of these journals, and it's fascinating to see the through line of this wisdom was always there. It was like I was orbiting it, like the words I was even using, like abundance at, whatever, 18. I'm like, what? Like, you know what I mean? I'm 42 now. Like, how did I know that? Like now it's a common word, but like I'm 42, people. This was a long time ago. It wasn't that common then. There was always this orbiting of this wisdom, but I was so not in my highest self. I was not connected. I was like there, it was within me, but I had to I had to get clear and like open my channels and align, right? And as I returned, as I got myself into homeostasis, and I elevated my health by way of diet and my lifestyle and fitness, then like I just was able to really lock into that wisdom that has always been there and then expand on it. So, this is really important to position in this talk, because I will tell you 100%, like a lot of people want the clarity and the elevation and all of this. And I mean, who doesn't? But if your lifestyle isn't supporting that, even if you have pieces of it, I'm here to tell you, you can go way farther with it. You can get way deeper in it, which will feel so much better when you dial in your lifestyle piece. Like when you're eating foods that are very nourishing, when your sleep habits are healthy, when, you're mindful about the conversations and how much news and all this, and that you're clearing, you're opening yourself up, you're able to like push out the unnecessary and embrace the necessary to then fortify it.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yo, yeah. Oh my gosh. That's like, I'm really going to wait for your book and definitely your journal, because it's really like, I mean, you are putting it in such great pieces, which is definitely easy to follow. Like what I said, compared to you with like over 20 years of journaling. For me, it would probably be, it's spotty, probably like as I felt like it in middle school, and then I started again in college, but it's like, I know I need it. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And I will link that in my show notes.
Yes, I can't wait to give you that. Thank you so much. Yes.
Of course, yeah. So here at Hello Beauty, we have a philosophy, and it's say hello to the beauty in you. What advice can you give to those who are trying to discover their beauty within?
Oh, that's a great question, philosophy. I really want to think about this for a second to really give you. I mean, I think there is nothing more beautiful than someone who really owns who they are, and is really expressing themselves from this authentic place. And in order to cultivate that, rewind this podcast episode and re-listen. It's like, it's all the pieces. It's getting, this deeper level of connection with yourself, this awareness, and really, I mean, you could self-care, from my perspective, are the actions that stem from self-love. But you know what else is self-love? Looking at a challenge, being even intimidated and fearful, but on the other end of this challenge is something that you need and you want to develop you in your life. So you put the fear in the back pocket, the anxiety in the back pocket, the whatever, and you're like, I'm going to bet on myself and I'm going to go. And this is where the confidence piece is built. So when you are someone who, we know, like, you're in a room full of people. Imagine this, everybody. And someone walks in who's just totally comfortable with who they are. They don't have to showboat. They're not loud. They're just who they are. There's an energy and an aura that is so felt around the person. Where does that come from? It comes from a deep level of confidence that allows the person to live in the state of, I'm in harmony with who I am, and I'm expressing this out into the world. And it's felt. It's beautiful. So that's my answer for you, girl.
Yeah, no, it is beautiful. I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So I want to talk, being a beauty expert, I want to know all about your makeup, skincare, and hair care routine morning to night. Quickly include products.
Okay.
Because I know
Okay.
you have some pro products like up your sleeves that I would like to know about.
Yeah. So, I mean, as a makeup pro, we have all kinds of products. I will say that over, the last several years, I've become more just really, I want products that are cleaner and have less health disruption in them. And then gratefully, a lot of the brands are doing so much better, right? You need the product to perform, but I want the product to not be disturbing my hormones and,
Yeah.
things of that nature. So, I mean, do you want me to start with my routine? It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Or I think it is.
Yeah.
A couple of staples in my skincare. I love SkinCeuticals for their vitamin C. There's a few serums in that are really good in the vitamin C zone of their brand. So I definitely have vitamin C as a part. I use a zinc sunscreen by Epicurean. M61 is a brand that I love. They are a cleaner brand. They are out of, Blue Mercury.
Yes.
Yeah, I love them, because they have high ingredients, high performance ingredients without, a lot of the health disruptors. Another brand that I love and I swear by and I use is Beauty Counter. So between Beauty Counter and M61, I would say that, and some pieces of the SkinCeuticals, those are the skincare staples in my skincare.
Yeah, you have amazing skin. Do you get any treatments done?
Thank you. So I'm a huge fan of the hydrofacial. So straight up, and I want to say this without, I'm not saying this with any judgment because I mean, I could be doing it soon for all I know, but I've never done any kind of work on my face. Like I haven't done Botox. I haven't done, part of that is like my ego of like, what can my lifestyle, like how far can my lifestyle take me? At
No, that's
42.
good. Yeah, same. It's, maybe it's like an experiment, right? Since I'm eating healthy, let me see. You want to see how it works for you. Your
You want to
healthy
see how it,
diet, your healthy lifestyle.
yeah. But girl, straight up, I mean, yeah, I see collagen breaking down. And it's interesting because it's like,
Yeah.
I don't want the collagen breakdown to be, oh, the alarm set off, so go run and fix it. No, because
Yeah.
you want to embrace, the process of aging. But, there are some things out there that, can make somebody feel better. And I'm not anti that. It's
Yeah.
just that I
Yeah.
haven't gone there yet. So
Yes.
you guys got a good doctor, let me know. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, makeup is pretty simple. It's like I have these key ingredients and I use them in different ways, but those ingredients are pretty staple. Luna Napster. Love Luna Napster. They have a tinted moisturizer that's super clean and super sheer. Their concealer as well. Beauty Counter's concealers or brightening concealers, epic, so good.
Oh, love it. Yeah.
So good. A couple of other things I would say. Beauty Counter has a really beautiful champagne brown eyeliner. So, I mean, that's literally what I have on with their
good.
bronzer on my eyes. So
Yeah.
the bronzer and then some lip gloss. Burt's Bees. I love Burt's Bees. I helped them develop their makeup line that they launched a couple of years ago. And, I mean, literally right here. It's clean and it's light. And I think for me, because I trained in my makeup, I have my makeup on all day. I don't want to feel makeup the end of the day or the beginning or the middle, So these are products that are just, they're steady, they're good, they're healthy. And they just, I mean, you see, it's pretty simple. I do love a good black eyeliner. I definitely rock the liner at times.
Yeah. So since you train with your makeup on, what is the eyeliner that won't smudge or like fake panda eyes? Or resting eyes, to be specific.
I know, right? Totally.
To be specific.
Tarte has this, it's called Tarteness. It's the double liner where it's like liquid and then crayon. And that tends to stay on really, really well. Yeah, it's hard when you're sweating. The other, that would be my number one. But then sometimes, girl, honestly, I'll put on a liner that I know is going to bleed a little bit. And on my eyes, I'm not putting it below, I'm putting it above. Yeah. So I don't care I like a little lived in Kate Moss, smudgy, edgy look, But if it's below for those, below is a whole different story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Mascara. I gotta share it.
Oh, yes. No, I love that.
Thrive. Have you ever used their Thrive Cosmetics?
The thing is, I'm about to use them, but I have like a lot of their makeup and skincare.
The mascara is ridiculous. And mascara is like my desert island product.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. And it's like these little fibers and they just stay on. So even when I do hot yoga or something, I don't have to smear. I have like, there'll be like little beads of the fibers, but whatever, you just wipe that away. That's much easier than like a smeary mascara. But it really does give volume and it gives a little bit of curl and length. Yeah, it gives everything. And it's a really rich black. So you're going to love it.
Ooh,
so
I love it. Okay, let me try that. Okay, so what is something exciting in store for you and or Black Belt Beauty?
Well, they're kind of one and the same.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking. So a couple of things. So the journal, You Are the Path, will be launching this holiday. You'll be the first to know, one of the first people to know about it, which is really exciting. You know, I shared with you, it's like a guided journal that's going to help self-actualization, you know, help you get to this place of self-connection, self-love, all those pieces. And just a beautiful, you know, when you think about like having, like I said, I have 20 years of writing. That's really cool just to have record of your life and where you were and witness your growth. So I'm really excited to launch that. The other thing that's really rad is Queendom. It's a private, exclusive membership group for women only. It's going to be so incredible. I'm so excited. This is going to be integrated into BlackBeltBeauty.com. And, you know, it's where I get to share high-level content. So I'll be doing some live calls. I'll be bringing on experts and be doing master classes, sharing high-level content, and also the community factor. What I have learned in my coaching is bringing women together, like-minded women together who are like on their individual but similar missions in life, witnessing how they support each other in this really positive space. It's safe. They could be vulnerable. They encourage, they love, they clap, it's so powerful to witness what goes down when you bring women together and you have this very private, safe space. So that's going to be a part of Queendom too. And that's going to launch this holiday as well. So it's going to be a big holiday season.
Yes, we need something to look forward to. So definitely these are the ones. I'm so excited. So what are your social channels and where can they find you?
Thank you. So I would say BlackBeltBeauty.com is the best place to send everybody. Get the free 10 morning ritual download, information on Queendom to get on the wait list. And there you'll learn more about me, my team, the brand, also Black Belt Beauty Radio, our podcast, which I can't wait to have you on. And all the channels to subscriber there. So that's probably the best place. Instagram, Roxy Look, Black Belt Beauty.
Oh my God. Yeah, definitely give her a follow. She has, I mean, not just with empowerment and coaching, you can like really pour over her page about health, fitness. Like I get just so inspired. I'm like, I need to work out today. Every time I see your page, I'm gonna get my butt up this chair and definitely do a workout too.
Get it, girl. And one of these days, very soon, we'll have to get a workout in together. That'll be so fun.
Oh my gosh, yes. Please kill me. I was I'm gonna look forward to that. Because I see your post, I'm like, oh my goodness. It's like in my mind, this is the type of workout I want. Like I need someone to push me this crazy, but then I know I'm just gonna die, but I will still do it.
Well, those hardcore ones, it's like you make them more bite-sized. It's like give it everything you got in those moments, you know? So we'll make that happen. We'll do it.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So sweet and amazing.
Thank you, girl. Ditto, and I can't wait to talk to you very soon for our show. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you so much.
You too.